Hello. Good morning. Oh, no audio for you. Here I am again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. There we go.
About now.
Yep.
Nice.
It's not great audio. I think it's your computer audio.
Yeah, hold up one sec.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. I am going to remind you about the daily planetary guide, the one I texted you. Oh, yes, that I had it it had I would read the week of thing.
Yes, I remember
The
this.
weekend outlook, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I got that last year because it was like 50% off at the magic store. Morning. Oh, you gotta pause us. Oh, no audio for you. What's happening? Hold Okay, I have the YouTube thing playing in the background.
Ah, so
Um, anyway, are you um here? Are you okay?
I'm okay. I've been better, honestly, but I had to lapse in my medication
Mm,
um, because my psychiatrist was out for a while and we didn't realize that I didn't have any refills. So I did finally get everything and I finally got it loaded in to my medication thing, but it took way too long, and lapsed for like probably close to a week, and I'm not.
that's a long time. That's a
Yeah,
long
I'm
time.
not doing great. But I'm working my way back to it. I feel like I'm coming back to the land of the living,
Yeah.
just a little bit. I'm surrounded by things that are not helpful right now. Like there's a lot of like cleaning that needs to be done that I just haven't been able to. And
Hmm.
my partner hasn't really, they've tried, but they've also been on call and they keep like coming home with like just a few hours to sleep and then dying, understandably so.
Hmm.
And so neither of us have been in a place to really clean. And it's really just kind of making things worse. So we're going to try to clean today. We discussed already that um, we would spend all today just like going ham on the house and trying to clean up the environment because uh, it's it's affecting me terribly. And I may or may not be coming down with something, but it's like weird symptoms that come and go, and I can't pin it to a sickness per se. And I'm wondering if it's just like my body trying to react in a different way to the stress of both being unmedicated, being in an uncomfortable environment, and just in general feeling like crap. So, like head wooziness and like nausea, but not real nausea, if that makes sense.
Hmm. Yep.
Um, and just easily feeling overwhelmed. Like just a lot of things that are even hard to put into words, but it's like, in the moment, it's like, oh, I do not want to be a human right now. Like
Hmm.
I would like to pluck myself out of my body right in this moment. And just it's not a good feeling. And I think it's been a while since I felt it that bad. Um, so I guess it was a good wake-up call to remind me that, like, yes, medication is doing things for me. Um,
Yeah.
but it's just it's
Well, there's
it's
definitely a
not the
couple things
place.
going on there because like you're like just the principles of our bodies. So like any drastic change, like starting or stopping a medication, um, kicks us into obviously some sort of mode. And then we go through withdrawal symptoms, which are like nausea, headache, sometimes a cold-like symptoms. So yeah, what you're experiencing sounds pretty normal, and that can make us irritable, tired, more pain in our body, all the things just stack up, stack up, stack up. And whatever the medication is for, that's affected also.
Yeah.
It-
And plus, in addition, I just realized I 3 days this week had to do work day in the library because people are flying in from Florida. So we were doing like our work team, we did full work days in the library instead of our usual at home setup. And so there was a lot of like peopling, and like I like most of those people. They're good people, and it wasn't like terribly traumatic or anything, but it did take a lot out of me, especially since the first day they also went to Silver Dollar City, the local amusement park. And so we had like a long trip, and that one was an entire day thing. Um, and so it was a lot of more like social interaction too that I also happened to be under medicated for, and it was very at times overwhelming. I was
Mhm.
really lucky it could have been worse because I had my people, as we learned in Florida, that they're like, this is our Scarlett, and you don't mess with her Scarlett. And so
Yeah.
I had like a force field that was really helpful, right down to the point when I was on the phone with IT trying to deal with something really frustrating, and a corner of the room was getting really loud. Literally, the person next to me came over and covered my other ear while I had my phone in one hand so that I was able to type and click and have one ear uncovered, or have one ear covered with the other one. And it was just a very like thoughtful gesture that I don't think most people would do. And I
Mhm.
think if they didn't know me well enough, they probably also wouldn't be like, I don't even know if I can touch her. But they were like, no, this counts. This is something that will help. And it was helpful. So that was really helpful, and I'm trying to focus on those things. But
Mhm.
at one point, I was having a hard time, like just eating, which was then making me more sick. And my partner was like, "You were at the library for 3 days straight. You're probably literally sick of peopling."
Mhm.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
I've been having to
"Wow."
tell Laura this too. Well, like she's been saying, it's more, I guess, me recognizing her tolerance for peopling. My tolerance is a bit higher, even though I do have a threshold and I know that it's time. Um, but I forget that a lot of people's, especially Laura's, is very low.
Mhm,
And she used to be able to go day, 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 every single day with like maximum capacity peopling and then some.
mhm.
But her life is just so drastically different now, so her tolerance is much, much lower.
And it's
She's
also sometimes when you're in a position like Laura, where you have to do those things, you don't really get a chance to acknowledge the fact that your soul doesn't thrive so well in that environment because you don't really get a chance to think about that. You don't get the chance to think about what your preference is when you have to go in person to work every single day, 9 to 5 every day. And it's like, it's not until you have a chance to experience what another version is that is better for you, like in my case, working from home, that you realize just how much you must have had it taken out of you to have to do that every day when it's much better to do the socializing on your own terms. Like being able to just be at home when you work and then go socialize when you need to, like once in a while when you do an in-center thing or when you do like outings or events or stores or whatever. I mean, yeah, sometimes we get too into our hole and we don't go out at all, but like in general, I feel like a lot of people realized they did not have the same capacity for socialization as they thought they did. They were just
Oh, I think your internet's cutting out. Oh no, where did she go? Well, I'll just sit here awkwardly until she comes back.
Hi. So you're talking about Laura, sorry.
Yeah, no, your internet cut out when you were going through saying things. Um, you were talking about, what were you talking about? Do you remember what you
Uh yeah, I was talking about how a lot of times we find ourselves not realizing that we're masking. Um
Right. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say to add on to that, like we are raised that way and we often don't have a choice. Like the way that our society is set up is for us to spend an extreme amount of hours per day doing something that being around things that we, you know, have to make ourselves believe that we want because it's what we have to do to survive here.
right.
Not everyone can just be like, you know what, I'm gonna quit corporate America and be the like, no, that's not a
Hmm.
reality here in America or countries where we have this situation.
Right. So yeah, I do appreciate the fact that Laura is now coming to terms with the fact that she has lower people meter and that that's okay. Um
Yeah. Yeah. We actually just recently, because we both think that we can do so many things in a day, but we get really tired. And like, for example, on the weekends, I've started going to Prospect Park. Well, I've done it once, but I want to do it every weekend because it's so fun. Um, And then we make a hopscotch, like a really large, intricate hopscotch for the park.
Grown up
Yeah,
hopscotch.
and then we watch people do it, and it is incredible. Like we go off to the side and then watch people do it, and it is so incredible. Yeah, I started making reels about it. So taking videos and then posting it on the internet.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to go look at that.
Oh my God, it is so fun. It just
That's
makes me so
amazing.
happy. Like I cannot stop smiling watching people do it. People were doing it backwards, or little kids doing it. People I didn't think that were, I was like, oh, they won't do it. And then they did do it. Like people that,
Oh my
you
God.
immediately judge that you're this type of person. So
Oh.
anyway, we're like, oh, we'll go to the park. And then after we're done with the park, we'll go to Target because we like have to go to Target for things. And then
Hmm.
like after the park thing, we were just so tired, but we had also like done morning stuff. So we're like, okay, we can't do two things in one day. And like this weekend, we try to do the same thing. Okay, we'll go to blah, 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 and then we'll go to Target. And we're like, we have to choose one. And now we have to prioritize one of them because we still have to go to Target. We haven't done it yet.
Yes.
So,
That is so huge.
yeah. And it is like, and we're going camping this weekend. And we always have to buy everything because like tents and the whole shit. And I'm in charge of food. So we have to go like big grocery shopping, and there's four of us going. So I'm shopping for all of us.
Hmm.
And poor Laura is like, because we're like gonna do that on Tuesday. I'm gonna cook on Wednesday, and then we're leaving on Thursday. And um we go grocery shopping together usually. And she was like, okay, well we can go we'll just do it tomorrow after I get out of work at 5 or something. And I was like, are you, and she has to go to L'Oreal tomorrow. Um like the store, the big whatever in the city, and it's training. And I'm like, I don't think that it is going to be a good idea for you to work a full day and then come to Trader Joe's during chaotic time where everyone's
Yeah.
after working. Um, so like the divide and conquer thing, like I
Hmm.
can do it by myself. I'll just do that. And then, um, well, then there's the missing out aspect of like hanging out while grocery shopping.
Hmm.
So there's like sacrifices because there's just so many people and we live in New York City. So like
Yes.
I know.
Yeah, there's no shortage
Yeah.
of things that will
So
happily take you.
and all of this to say that you don't have any room to pass any judgment on you or your partner for not cleaning or not
Yeah.
doing whatever regular shit you're supposed to be doing, right? Like we're all doing our best just like everybody else on the whole planet.
Yeah.
That
Poor
includes you all
Garbage.
the time.
He's the real victim in this is Garbage because
Really.
I know for a fact he's picking up on this. The one thing that I have been doing is cleaning the litter box, but he is pooping everywhere in like unprecedented places. Like he now poops in like in the garage. We took the door off the garage because I kept the internal door because I kept forgetting to open it back up. I have to close it to get to the laundry stuff. But when it's left closed, then the plants, he's got weed plants in the
Mhm.
garage. That's a whole saga.
Yeah.
But he's got the gardening in there, and then I would suffocate them almost by forgetting to open the door. So we're like, nope, goodbye door.
Mhm.
We don't need this door anyway.
Put a nice
Um,
curtain.
yeah. And so plus the girls have been better about not running out
By the
whenever I
way,
have to come
Garbage
home
is
to.
your cat. I don't know if that's been
Oh
announced.
yes, yes, I have a cat named Garbage, and he has a pooping problem.
He does have a pooping
Um,
problem. He already poops everywhere, and it sounds like it's like double time right now.
Yeah, he usually will try to poop in the litter box unless it is litter box says he has to have two, and he'll full both of them in a day. But because he has a digestive problem that he's got kitty AIDS, so his infections aren't they escalate. But anyway,
Mhm.
so he poops everywhere, and he, even though his litter boxes were cleaned, he is now pooping everywhere, including the garage. At first, it was like soil that had been left on the floor because we're making a custom, or he was making a custom soil. And it's like, okay, well, that's fair. That's like pooping outside, right? So we just keep the soil out of reach. Well, then he's found after the fire, because the fire started in the garage and we had smooth concrete in the garage. The concrete now has patches of rough concrete, where the fire, like, for example, where the motorcycle melted, or where other iron things just melted.
Mhm.
The concrete is completely jagged. It's got patches missing, and we
Ew.
obviously didn't account for fixing that because it's like it's still concrete, where's the
Mhm.
problem? Something about the texture of that is now calling to him as well. And so he is pooping on the jagged concrete in our garage. And that is not so easy to clean, also. How do
You
you
need
even
like
go
a
about
hose, I
that?
think.
Yeah, and it's like, what are we gonna my partner's like, I'm gonna have to go to Menards and buy concrete so that my cat doesn't poop in my garage. What is happening? And I'm like, we should just invest in a cat gate, like a baby gate that's really tall, and
Yeah.
hope that he doesn't go through it, because that would be cheaper, I think, than reconcreting the entire garage. Um, but and then places that, like, we already can't leave the couch left open and unattended overnight because he'll
Hmm.
poop on that. And then previously, we've had this chair that he sleeps on and that we like to lounge on when we're there, that has been safe, but that wasn't the case last night. And I keep finding little places where I'm like, why would you even poop on this? This doesn't make sense. This is not in your normal poop range. You have specific things you like to poop on, and this is not on the list. So
It's
now
not
we're
in the
having to adapt the
NPR.
list. It's
Normal
not.
poop range.
It's not in the NPR. So we have to adjust the list and try to do more and more, but we're basically just gonna have to go balls to the wall today, cleaning, and hope that there are fewer spots that he can poop on. But I know why he's doing it. Absolutely, I know why he's doing it. If
What?
I were a cat feeling these things that I'm feeling right now, I'd be pooping everywhere too. And
Mm,
I know cats pick up on the energy, and I've been so overwhelmed. So
yeah.
I'm a human with this overwhelming, unpinned downable emotions and grossness. And I still have a hard enough time coming to terms with it. Imagine if I had all this in a cat body, or if I was picking up these vibes from cat. I don't know what's going on. I just know everything is awful,
Mm,
and all I can do is poop. So that's what I'm going to do.
yeah. Yep.
And I just feel so bad because it's like, obviously, I want to be mad, especially when I have to throw out pillows because I can't save them once the poop is soaked in.
Yeah.
Um, but like,
And he doesn't have normal poop. He's like,
no, his poop is liquid. It's all liquid, and there's no amount of probiotics or traumatic medicine administering that it has helped him. So we just let it happen. Um, but yeah, it sucks, but it's worse for him, and I just have to keep that in mind because he's really
yeah.
going through it. I know he is. There's no way he wants to do that.
Yep.
But anyway, so that's something that we're going to be doing today. I promised my niece that I would play a video game with her today because they have an event and she's been looking forward to it, and we haven't played. So the tricky part is I need to try to manage that time so that I have time to play with her and make her not feel shorted, but also have time to clean the house. So I'll probably be working on scheduling that a little bit today.
How long
But
do you think it will take you to catch up on the house?
mm, we have a lot of laundry to do, and it's pooped on clothes. So I might have to do extra work on them before I wash them. I don't know how long that's going to take. Maybe I'll just take them all outside and spray them with the hose on the concrete, and then have the poop dribble down. Maybe I can do
The
that.
way you talk about it is just so funny. I know it's your and your partner's life, so it's like so casual to you, but you're like, yeah, maybe I'll just spray it with the hose and let the poop trickle down. Like people don't say this.
I know, but my life is poop right now. And then my partner got sick the other night, so now there's also vomit smell in the bedroom.
Oh,
And Bean has a microbladder, and she started piddling a little bit in the bedroom as well. And garbage got locked in here the other day, so he obviously pooped because he can't not poop. And I
yeah.
have to find that. I'm smelling it. I just keep letting incense because I don't know where it is, and I haven't had it in me to find it. And so all of the rooms in the house, pretty much, and of course the living room always smells like poop because that's where the litter boxes are. Um, all of the rooms in the houses smell like poop, vomit, or piddle, or
Oh,
just nebulous trash. So that's also not good for.
they're living in a big dumpster of shit fire.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like this environment is not good for me, and I want to
Okay.
pull myself out of my skin.
So the reason why I asked you that is so that you can keep that in mind when you're thinking about this week, because your body's going to be changing because you'll be starting a medication, right? So your body needs energy to process that change, and that's
Hmm.
going to make you tired. And you have, this isn't a regular catch up on house stuff. This is a special one, which is going to take longer and more energy too, right? So,
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be done today.
yeah,
I'm
I would say
realizing that.
that it would be helpful for you to like keep that in mind as a priority thing instead of like whatever random shit you think that needs to be done.
Mm,
Okay.
yes.
Because what needs to be done is your body has to recover, which how long does that usually take when you've had a medication lapse?
Um, with any other medication, maybe a couple weeks. With my BP2 medication, I have to set a titration on it, and that might take up to 4 weeks. Or I guess technically 3 weeks because on the fourth week I start the normal dose. So we'll call it 3 weeks.
Yeah, so you need to keep that in mind when you're scheduling the next 3 to 4 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Month, think in those terms.
Yeah, I think
And maybe
that's.
you can take my method because I didn't schedule anything. Remember how I didn't schedule anything in my week
Hmm.
except for the 2 days I was going into the salon and my meditation teacher training on Mondays, and then there was a good grief group that I went to on Wednesday. Everything else stayed on the side because my only job, I'm recovering from just like a list of things. So in order to be realistic, I was like, I'm not going to actually schedule anything. I'm just going to wake up that day and see what my body needs and how it feels, and then um, say yes to opportunities like if Laura wanted to work at the coffee shop. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I can do that. Let me bring my computer and I'll do that too. And then I'll see what I can do in that environment with the blah, 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 instead of being like, well, I wanted to do this on this day. Like, I don't really care what that Michelle said. I'm here now today, and this is what I can do, and this is what I want to do. So, like, prioritizing things that I want to do helped me recover, like, mentally and emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I also
Yeah.
needed to do things that were going to make me happy. And like cleaning my environment does make me happy. So this could also be an opportunity for you to like brand this as like, okay, now I have 2 slow weeks because that week, was a transition week about a lot of stuff and it was crazy. So the next couple weeks is going to be slow, and this is how I'm going to treat myself.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Yeah. And then luckily we can check in every Sunday. That's how I've been doing it. I've like every Sunday I'm like, okay, I guess I'm still working on what I was working like that's like I'm still working on what I was working on last week because I just have so much other shit to unpack, and I have this little camping to plan for, so I'm not really doing many like work related things.
Yeah,
Taking care of myself and my family.
that's huge, honestly.
Yeah.
I think I do have one big thing scheduled next weekend. Saturday is something that I've been looking forward to for months, and that is the Ren Fair
Mm.
that we're going to. And I have what's crazy is every single year, the KC Ren Fair, I want to do certain events that take place at the Ren Fair that they have every year. Every single year, I'm like, this is the year. I'm going to do it this year. And something always comes up that I'm not able to do it. Usually before I'm able to buy the tickets, maybe like a financial thing happens, and then we just go under the basic and then walk around and do whatever. But then last year, I actually pulled the trigger and bought ahead of time the tickets for the events, and those are non-refundable. So it's like, all right, we're committed. And then my partner had a migraine, and we weren't able to go, so we had to go a next weekend, but we had to eat the money that we had spent on that.
Oh,
So this is the first I thought this is another year where I pulled the trigger on these expensive events. And so I'm just hoping against hope that we don't have anything that comes up, and hopefully I won't get overwhelmed. Um, but that's like the only thing I think outside of that, I think I can afford to take everything else easy and do exactly what you said, where there's no like overt plans. I don't think that I'm going into center or into the library. I don't think we have any more library days for a while. Um, I don't think that we're going anywhere else aside from regularly scheduled football games, which I watch on the TV. I don't think there's anything. Uh, yeah,
what if you committed and just said there's nothing?
there is nothing.
There's nothing I have to do.
There's nothing I have to do. There is the Ren Fair and then nothing else.
Yeah, you thought about it, so you're done thinking and period.
Yes, good. We're good.
Nice. Cool. Well, that was a nice little session.
Yeah, let's do your planetary guide
Well, it
now
does say
that
until
we're.
2026. I just wanted to mention
Oh,
my
that's
calendar.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a sneak preview, what we have to look forward to.
And but I did get this thing also. It's like a laminated little yoga guide.
Hmm.
And it has basically like in yoga and meditation teacher training, there's like it's like school. So there's theory and there's like
Hmm.
different elements to learning it. Like if you're gonna become a doctor, I'm assuming you learn about like blood and then you learn about muscles and then you learn about like diet and brains, I don't
Right.
know, whatever. So it's like that. In this, I found um it basically has everything that you learn, but in like a nice little categorized thing with pictures. So I just thought that this would be cool so that, well, it's just like another interpretation of study that I can put language in and be like, okay, I understand this concept more because it's green,
Yes.
right?
I love that.
Yeah, it's cool. And it just is like very non-judgmental. And I mean that in a way of like the little bodies that they use are
Oh,
fine.
yeah. They're
Yeah,
like normal people bodies. They're
exactly.
not like crazy ripped yoga trainer
Right.
or like not ripped. I guess it wouldn't be ripped. It'd be like super tight yoga trainers.
Usually
That's
they're
what it.
just very scrawny.
Yeah, exactly. Like the only meat on their bones is what they acquired from their green smoothie.
Yeah. Shout out
But
to them because your
yeah,
body is amazing and good
it's
job.
amazing. No judgment at all, but like it's great to see normal other bodies as
Yeah,
well.
like a more popular body type,
Yeah,
at least in my circles, I'll say.
more common. Yeah.
Anyway, so those were my finds this week. And I've been reading this meditation book that Laura got me at the little library, which is doing the very same thing that this is. It's like putting things in a very more specific language so that I
Hmm.
can put everything together. And then it's like studying on crack.
I love that.
What
I
happens?
have my own I also have a share find. It's a book called Knots and Lattes,
Mm.
and the cover and the name both give you the vibe of like this classic dime a dozen like little romance whatever. Like it's got the cartoon front and it's like the type of thing that you just see in the, I don't know, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But there's actually a lot more to it. For one, the romance doesn't take over the whole plot, which is always a plus for me. If it's not gay romance, I get enough of it. Like I have it everywhere, and I would just prefer to focus on the other aspects of it. But it is tame. There's no like open door, whatever. But the other thing is the main focus of it is actually the main character. She is a shibari artist behind closed doors. So shibari is the Japanese rope art that is often used
Mm.
in like BDSM and everything, but it is not solely for BDSM purposes. In
Yeah.
fact, the art itself has a complex history that goes beyond just erotic uses. And her whole thing is because she owns this coffee shop, hence the lattes, she has this bubbly, everybody goes to her, everybody loves her coffee, whatever persona, and nobody knows that after hours she transforms her whole coffee shop into her own personal studio for this rope art. It's just for her, and it's also she uses the rope art to overcome trauma and take a sense back control. She came from a controlling relationship. She she found rope art on a fluke by coming across an exhibition back when she was coming out of a really toxic relationship, and she actually just poured herself into it. No official classes, but like internet reading, everything she could get her hands on to teach herself this art, and she became a pro in her own right, and
Mm-hmm.
she really focused on both the technique but also the meditative aspects of it and the therapeutic aspects of it and how it helps with embodiment and self-acceptance and also um, consensual restraint, like freedom through restraint is
Mm.
one of the things. And there's so many aspects of it that the author really did her research on it. And this is actually happening where some people are bringing it into the West as not just a sexual thing, but as a healing thing. And
Wow.
that's her biggest focus is healing. And her whole thing throughout the book is coming to terms with the fact that letting people into that side of her and what she has done to healing instead of just believing that people are going to judge her for the which some people do, but
Mm-hmm.
she comes to terms with the fact that it's okay if some people judge her if she is also helping people, which she does in the book. She shares her unique utilization of this rope practice. She spreads awareness about it and she leads workshops on it and she helps other people. She even creates a certification program for other people to continue spreading it and works with therapists to have these safe practices. And it's just so unique and it focuses on the artistic aspect of it and it focuses on personal growth and there's so much of it that is way more than you would guess by looking at the cover. Like you would look at the cover and see two cartoon people holding lattes and you'd know that it was a romance and then they're all talking about the grumpy sunshine trope, which is someone really grumpy and someone really nice that hit it off, and that's a trope people go for some reason. I don't really understand all of the little romance tropes
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like it's fine, but the main thing that does it that's not the whole thing is that's one tiny little aspect of it, and I thought it was going to take over the whole thing, and I was just reading it for the review, but because I thought it would be a cute little coffee shop tale. But oh my goodness, it was so much more than that. And the grump sunshine thing was just one fraction, and it did not annoy me by being the main context. It was just like all about not just her, but also the grump, and they both find their personal growth through rope art. And then they expand that to help countless other people. And I don't know. I was really blown away. It was not the silly little book I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And I would definitely recommend it. I teared up at one point, and part of it was because I'm under medicated. But I was sitting there reading, and I'm like, "What is happening? This is not labeled a tearjerker. This is this is not a tearjerker." But it was when the mom, she has a traditional mom, and her mom tried to talk her out of ruining her life, And at some point, the mom does come around, but she doesn't understand it still. And that's the most beautiful, realistic thing. She's
Mhm.
like, I cannot look at your art and understand it. I do not understand any of this, and I do not understand this life that you've made for yourself. But I can see that there's technique to it. I can see there's artistry to it, and I see everyone around here is talking about how it impacts them.
Mhm.
And so I'm not going to be enthusiastic about this, but I am at least going to appreciate the fact that you have made a life for yourself that is different from what I planned for you. And I'm like, she didn't do
Making me
the
tear up a little bit.
I know she didn't do the cliche, oh my God, you're right. This is the most incredible art I've ever seen. How could I have ever doubted you thing? She's like, nah, I still don't get this shit, but
But
I support you.
when you said she was like, I see how it has impacted other people's lives. It's
Yes.
like that is really what it is. Like I was just thinking about this the other day about how because like my parents don't know about my career. They know I'm a hairstylist, but they don't know what I've achieved and they don't certainly really don't know what I do now and like
Mm-hmm.
how I practice and like my whole healing practice and my business is like they don't know any of it. Um and they don't know, I believe anyway. I think my mom could sort of get it, but absolutely she does not understand the impact that the way that I work and my art is is on people. She knows that I give a good haircut.
Yes.
That's it. And it is sad, but also like I think I needed to understand that because I also don't care what they think that I do. But like I think my whole family doesn't understand the impact because they've always gotten what I get for free. I've doing it done in the kitchen for them for my whole life. So they just
Yes.
get to take
They
it for
just take it for
granted.
granted.
They don't
Exactly.
understand. Yeah. And also, no, maybe they don't get the same treatment, obviously, if I mean they don't really respect, I think, what I do as a career, especially a long-term one.
Yes.
So
And
it's very interesting.
actually, the more I think that this is another one, I feel like you would really enjoy it, even though it's a hetero romance. It's like so much of it is just, and it's talking about art, healing through art, and also you can tell the author, like you could have told me the author has been doing rope art her entire life, and I believe you. But in reality, she was inspired by it, and she worked with actual rope artists and everything. In like, there's a beautiful little author's note about it, and I'm gonna pop this in the chat really quick if it'll let me.
Mhm.
Um, and I this one is a little bit longer than the other one I sent you. It's like 200, the Kindle version's 228 pages. So it might take a longer time for you to get through it, and you have other ones you might want to read first. But if they ever come out with an audiobook, I'm reaching back out to you on this one because I really think that you would enjoy it. Um, and I wonder if it probably will not let me put this. Nope, it won't. Well, it's available. The paperback version's available on bookshop.org for $9.99 if anyone has a bookshop they'd like to support through them. Um, and then there's also on Amazon you can get, or like Kindle, you can get the ebook. But yeah, I absolutely love it. And what is that badge? Why do I have a badge? I'm a top fan.
Yeah, well, I
I'm
clicked on your thing and it said make you a moderator, and I was like, oh, sure, I'll do that right now. And
I
that's
feel so I have the power.
you
I
do.
have 25 XP. Amazing.
Wow.
No one will beat me. If
I can
someone
also put
beats
you
me,
like
I'm
in
doing my job
timeout.
wrong.
I can
Uh-oh.
also hide you on this channel,
Oh no, don't do
report
that.
you. I can pin your
What?
message. Yeah, I actually have the power.
Yeah, you're right. I'm the lackey. By the way, I learned something today.
What?
Previous book, this is totally unrelated. Previous book that I read was written by a Western Australian author, but she was writing it, her main character that was in the point of view of was a New Yorker, and like self-proclaimed New Yorker as that. And she says it a couple times in the book. But what's amazing is I can tell that this cute little Western Australian author has probably spent very little time outside of her local space because there were so many idioms that a New Yorker would never say. Like, she talked about throwing off her knickers and trying to make it to the Portaloo on time. And, you've got the classics like calling cookies biscuits or jello jelly or pudding custard. And then using the phrase oi, oh, I to get people's attention. Oi!
Boy,
Like, that is very, like,
that's not
not New
New Yorker.
Yorker. And it's just hilarious because in what's really funny is she did not have to make her a New Yorker because in the book, you spend very little time, like you spend maybe a, just a little blip of a time in what is supposedly New York. And
Mhm.
then she ends up transported to a place where people from all over the world are, and you've got people from everywhere. So why not just make her Western Australian is interesting. But you don't have to do that. But also the fact that she didn't have someone non-American comb through and be like, that's Aussie, that's Aussie, that's Aussie, or at least that's Euro, that's not American, was just so funny to me. And very charming, actually. I started marking it in my Kindle so that I could count how many Aussieisms I called it, even though not all of them were Australian. Some of them were just like non-American,
Mhm.
but like also British, but also Australian. But I started marking it and laughing about it. And I put it in my review how much I loved it because I did. It was charming. Like this girl grew up in her little corner and she doesn't even know how unique some of these things are to her. And it was so funny. But the biggest one was the word lackey. When you hear lackey, you think like a little peon that sucks up to an authority figure but that's not what it is in this context. Apparently, it means like rubber band or there's hair lackeys or whatever. That I had to look it up. It was not in any of the dictionaries. I had to find it on a forum that apparently it is a Western Australian specific slang term for like rubber bands or like hair ties and everything. I'm like, you managed to put an idiom so specific that only this particular region of your country out of the entire world even knows what it is, and I had to find it on a forum to figure out what it meant. And that's supposed to be from your New Yorker who's born and raised. I thought that was hilarious and I love it so much.
It's
It was
like almost too precious.
it
Also,
was
it
so
reminds
precious.
me, there was a show called what? It's about a Australian women's prison.
Oh,
They use the word lackey for like rat,
that's a new one too. I've
I
never heard
think.
that.
Um, Australian women's prison movie. I wonder if it's Western Australian. It's called like Wentworth. Yes, very good. Lots of lesbo action in this
Of course, you can't have a
period.
women's prison without lesbo action.
That's right.
Oh, also jumper. The use of the word jumper for like
Okay.
clothing that's not an actual jumper. I think it's like a sweater or a jacket or something is what they call a jumper.
Um, mm, oh, they call it for a jacket?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
weird.
I think they call because there's a clothing item that they call jumper that we don't. Because when we think of jumper, we have our own version of jumper, but they use it as a general term for like, I think it's like knitted jackets. Um, that's pretty unique to them. Jumpers themselves aren't unique to British, but or Euro slang, but them calling this particular thing is kind of like we have the word biscuits, but we don't use it in that context.
Yeah. And like chips.
Chips, they call fries chips, and actual chips they call crisps.
Victoria, Australia.
Victoria. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I might have to check that out sometime. Um,
Is
but
that
yeah, I would not necessarily recommend the book that I read because it's a very different vibe from what I usually would recommend. I'm just kind of keeping my options open. If anyone's curious, it's called The Wild Hunt, but it's much darker. Um, but I do very much recommend the Knots and Lattes. And it is, even though it is about shibari art, it is tame. There are no explicit scenes. Um, and I appreciate that, not because I'm a prude, but just because I love the contrast of like the fact that shibari is considered overtly sexual and perverted, but the book itself is so unbelievably tame. Like
Also,
the most it gets is a kiss. Yeah, and I'm not totally prudish. Sometimes I do like it, but it's got to be right, and there can't be mention of girth or length, otherwise I'm taken out of it. It's got to be an emotional type thing. I don't want to be hearing about cocks and how they ram into things. I'm like,
I don't think
ow.
that's being prude also. I think that there's like I think that like being prepared for crassness or whatever
Yeah.
is could be a thing.
Yeah. I just like emotional aspects of things, and I really like that. That I get warmed up when thinking about certain like bonding moments.
Mm.
Um, and more so than, you know, when they start talking dirty, and I'm just like, okay, this works for you, and I'm so glad for you, but I wish I could fast
Takes
forward to
me
the
out of it
part
too much
where
sometimes.
it does, especially
It's
when it's at
like
the
getting a
worst
dick pic. It's like
moments.
getting a dick pic in public, and you're like, I don't want to be like texting my mom and then see a dick pop up on my phone.
Yes, that is exactly it. And it's like I am a person that reads everywhere I go, literally everywhere I go. So even though I know nobody can hear or see what I am listening to or reading, it's like I feel all of a sudden, even if I'm in the privacy of my own home, I feel like looking over my shoulder, like, God,
No.
what am I reading or hearing? This is so embarrassing. What if some random figure shows up and is like, this is what you like, okay. But it's like, no, it's not. I'm very uncomfortable right now, and I want to skip to the part where they're talking about their feelings or they're talking about the plot,
Yeah.
especially like when they start flirting or making out in a very crass way right when they're all about to die if they don't do something. And I'm like, do something. Don't
Yeah.
look at his crotch. What are you doing? That's my exposure, my Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing, I read Fourth Wing, and I did a lot of yelling. Like, keep it in your pants. There is a
Yeah.
dragon on the way.
Well, like the whole thing of like using the opportunity to be, I don't know, it takes me out of it in a way where now I'm thinking about this person's perversion in the
Mhm.
way, and like as a person who's been sexually molested as a child, like I don't
Mm.
really want to be like playing with my toys and thinking about cocks.
Yeah.
Don't take me there.
Yeah, no.
It's an
That
assault.
yeah, do not read Wild Hunt. Don't read Wild Hunt. It's an interesting storyline, but I could see it being kind of a little too dark for people. But read Knots and Lattes. No one will get triggered by that except for maybe remembering that you have trauma you want to work through, and it gives you ideas for how to do it healthily. So,
Beautiful. Well,
all
we are
right.
an hour in.
Yep, this is the longest that we've gone.
Yeah.
So, let's go ahead and get
We
started.
needed it though. You needed a
We
little
did.
session this morning,
This
so
was an incredible week and not in the best way. So, I definitely feel like we needed
yeah.
extra time. And sometimes it be like that. Sometimes you just need extra time
Yeah.
to decompress. So, what we are is we are an ADHD planning meeting. Let me pause this. Pause. Thank you. So that focuses not just on ADHD, but also neurodivergent focus on. We want to focus on clarity and bringing chaos into structure and accountability. So, showing up for ourselves means practicing time management, avoiding burnout, making realistic plans, which is going to be a big one for us today, defining what on time means, delegating when is needed, and building in joy. So, some tips for a successful planning meeting are honoring the moment. We want to set the tone, keeping in mind this is more of a planning session. Or it's more than a planning session, it's also a ritual for clarity and comfort and caring for our future selves. We want to be present, curious, grounded, and inspired. So we want to curate our vibe. So that can be lighting, music. I have a fan on my face, just things that make you feel comfortable. And then we want to handle your basics like snack, coffee, water, stretching. You want to grab tools, which could be pens and notebooks. It might be laptops, your calendar, things that help you focus. And we want to use our resources. Like we have a Notion template you can duplicate to your Notion account and fill out for the day. Um, and then you also have a screen guide, visual, and timer that we will use on the screen as we go through. So we do this in 4 steps. Um, And we start with a brain dump, which focuses on the present. We want to clear everything out of our mind, get it out of the way. Then we go to reflective questions, which focuses on the past week and asking ourselves how things went. And then we transition to the future with our top 20. We want to pull out the most important things from everything that we just kind of spit out. And then we want to commit to adding those things to our calendar. So we want to clear lingering thoughts and responsibilities so our minds can work effortlessly. So we've got 20 minutes for our first step, which is the brain dump. There is no right or wrong way to do this. I'm not sharing my screen. I just realized I'm not sharing my screen. Hold up. Let's see here. Okay, so we're doing our brain dump, which we just take everything in our mind and we just spit it out onto the paper or the Notion template. And we do this mostly to do things like reduce stress, bring focus and clarity, declutter the mind. A lot of things that this is a big part of our planning meeting is this first step where whatever it can look like a paragraph, it can look like a list of things, it can be both, you can bop around. No right or wrong way to do it, just make space in your brain. And then we'll come back and we'll organize it a little bit more later. So we'll take 20 minutes for this and then we'll come back and start thinking about the previous week.
Okay. The screen, I can't see it.
Oh,
See it. It just says
okay, let's try
it's
again.
just
I wonder
black.
if I might not have enough memory on here. Let's try again. How about now?
It says you're sharing your screen, but nothing's showing up for me. I don't know if it's not showing up for everyone or if it's just me.
Let me check.
It says
Yeah,
Scarlett has started screen sharing. Double click to enter full screen mode.
yeah, I
Do that. It
see.
doesn't say anything.
Okay,
You share
well,
mine. I can do mine.
yeah, good idea, because I think that
Um,
my laptop is struggling today. It's saying that I have low memory.
all right, hold on. I gotta
Do you have more than one screen right now?
I do. I just have to log into Notion on Laura's computer so I can get the
Okay.
visuals.
Yeah, we definitely need to post this because then we can also use it without logging into Notion if needed. You can just log into YouTube and see the video on YouTube and just play it.
Oh, right. Okay, I'll add that to my, let me add that right now, actually. Um,
Mm. Oh, speaking of a poopy boy, he is coming to join.
add Sunday service video to YouTube. Yeah, that would really help, wouldn't it? Um,
All right, Stinky, come on. I have covered up. Although I'm probably covering up with something you pooped on before, but it's fine. I don't see poop, though it's
I
not
had
there.
to contact Canva to change my email address because it was still Michelle Stoner Queer. And the only way apparently that you can change your email through them is to, even if you don't have the email, you have to contact the provider. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm the
Lord.
provider. I cannot remake this email address. So I had to contact customer service, which annoyed me, but it was very, very helpful and it worked. So
Oh, good.
now my
Thank
email
goodness. I
address.
guess I should probably change mine too, because mine is still connected. I should make it to I made a new email address specifically for bookish things. I
Hmm.
called it Scarlett dot rainbowreads at gmail.com. And I'm really excited
That's
because I'm gonna
cool.
one day have a book box. I have a dream to have a book box in front of like a free little library, and
Mm.
I'm gonna call it the Rainbow Little Library. And
Oh,
I
dude.
one day when I have that, then I can have that email out there for anyone if they're like, hey, do you think you'll have this kind of book or whatever in the future? And then I can try to keep an eye out for those or something. And I'm excited. So in the meantime, I'm using it for like book reviews and whatnot. So I might use that for my Canva account.
I'm doing something so horrible. I accidentally clicked on when I clicked Notion login or typed Notion login into Google, it obviously brought me to like 500 different fake Notions and I
Oh
accidentally made an
no.
account under some Notion thing instead of logging out. And now I have some random.
Oh no.
Yeah, and you can't cancel. You can just sign out. Oh my God, dude. The internet really fucking makes me
Oh, that's
so mad.
terrible.
Like,
Okay,
what's Notion's website fucking name? Why isn't it the first one coming up? I don't understand.
it's notion.so.
Jesus Christ. Is Notion.to is what I fucking
Jesus.
clicked on,
I
apparently.
hate that. I hate people sometimes. What is going on with my why is my camera being weird now?
And I had to like log into my email so I could like
Oh,
verify. Like, I just wasn't clicking to me.
well, let's hope they don't steal your social security number.
Well, I didn't have to put that in, so
That's good.
um YouTube. I have everything in toggles, which is pretty funny. All right, so I open this. Oh, I can do a full screen and everything. Oops. Don't play yet. Did you hear it?
I did.
Cool. All right, now how do I do it? Go to Zoom and then share. I share my Notion, I guess, right?
Uh, yes.
Your camera's off, by the way.
I know. I don't know what's going on. Let me try again. I keep see it goes to black screen. I don't know what's going on. I think my computer is really, really sleepy. Probably because I took it to the library 3 days straight and now everything's off. So it's like, you have a million things plugged into me right now and I'm sick of it.
Yeah, could you please stop?
Yeah, pretty much, I think is what's happening.
Okay.
Um,
Well, we are
we'll just
rolling.
leave it and we'll see if that happens. But we do have, I do see this showing up on the YouTube video, a little behind, but your screen is indeed shared.
Okay. Well, I'm ready. So let's do it.
Cool, cool, cool. Hey, did you press play?
Yeah, I guess not.
Oops,
Well, it was playing and then I must have paused it.
I've done that before.
Also, oh, it's because the play button was covered up. So I'll fast forward it like 3 minutes.
Okie doke.
Thank you for catching that.
Yeah, I just glanced over. I'm like, I should go to the
And I had
bathroom.
gotten up to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Looks like that's time.
Sorry, I had to run and take care of something real quick. Okay, how did we do? Okay, let's see if my camera will work.
I actually remuted myself, and also I get annoyed when the little stupid when you're full screen mode and the thing doesn't pop up.
Hmm.
So I couldn't pause it, so that's what I'm gonna. Oh, because I have to go to the actual screen. I see. Which I don't know where it is. I don't know how to get my screen.
Be right back.
Did I pause? Is it pause? No. Okay. Scarlett's be right back, gang. So next we're gonna do reflective questions, which has us asking ourselves how the week was, how did I perform in my various roles as an adult? I have more to say about that because I have created this like a thing that's called a balance audit, where we talk about and like actually see on paper what actual roles we carry as adults, like even simple as like sister, cousin, and then also I don't know, I'll get into it later. Anyway, how did I perform as my various roles as an adult? Did I achieve the goals I set for myself? Victories and almost remember to be kind to yourself with these. It says this is for memory and planning, not judgment or shame. So like things that you didn't get done, um, turn into uh things that obviously weren't priority over whatever else had to come first. So that's why we're not judging ourselves. What could I have done differently? And anything I need to follow up on. And that what could I have done differently thing is like this is why I wanted to warn Scarlett about that she had a really crazy week because um moving forward, like if say she doesn't do anything on the list or whatever that's supposed to get done, what she could have done differently is remember that her job was to prioritize herself. So try to be kind with those kinds of things also. Um, and anything I need to follow up on. Sometimes I go back to the brain dump and just start typing. Um, and we have 10 minutes.
Hi, my camera's working again.
Yay.
I had to restart everything pretty much except my computer, and it let me join through the app, which is nice.
Nice. Well,
Okay,
I said everything, so I'm ready to start.
nice. All right, 10 minutes. Reflective questions. Let's
All
go.
right, start now. That was time.
Hi. Okay, sorry, I had to mute for a second more. All right, how do we feel?
Pretty good.
Good.
What about
Yeah.
you?
I did a lot of my reflections already, so
Me too.
I wound up pivoting
I
to
journaled this
organizing something
morning,
else.
so I was feeling good, pretty good coming in.
Oh, good. Hi, Laura.
Hello.
Um, awesome. So our next section is top 20. So we take 15 minutes and we go back to our brain dump and our reflective questions, and we pull out the 20 most important ideas or tasks. So now that we have let everything kind of flow freely, we're going to prioritize things. This is the part that I am going to probably spend the most energy on because there's a lot and I need to figure out what I can feasibly do. So this is not to the purpose of this is to add structure to our thoughts. We want to recognize the most important things. And it's an exercise in realistic expectations for what we can accomplish in a week and where to prioritize investing our time and energy. So you can use categories, you can mark them by urgency, and it does not have to be 20 things. We want to try to keep it under 20 things. And then whatever else is on our list that we don't think we can get to this week, that'll be something that we can work on next week. So I have to tell myself that as well out loud because I definitely will have things I'm not going to be able to get to this week. So we'll take 15 minutes for that, and then we will come back and start plugging things into our calendar.
Okay, I'll start now. It's time.
Yay. Well, I've got a lot going on. I mean, a lot to disperse,
Really?
but yeah, but
Should we
I think
circle
we,
back to earlier?
no, no. Um,
I
I think
mean,
I've
like,
got
do you remember how we were supposed to remember? Um,
that it's not going to be 1 week. It's going to be
yeah,
a
what are you
lot of
thinking?
weeks.
You're gonna squeeze in a tight week now?
No, no. I just realized it's probably going to take more weeks than I thought. So, but I'm trying to be reasonable. I'm going to focus on laundry. Um, I think because that's what this one has taken over most of. And I think
Mhm.
once we have clean clothes and clothes off the floor, it's going to make it easier to do a lot of the other things too.
Yeah.
And that's alone is going to take up like just the depoopifying of things is going to take a lot. So
Yep.
that's going to be my focus, I think, for this week. And
Maybe you can also like get a tote from the dollar store and just pre-soak everything in like soap and water. And then, or maybe get two totes so you can get a system going for the future too, if this happens again. You can have like soapy water, then non-soapy water. You can go back and forth, and then you can wash them in a washer. That way you're not
mhm.
like
And do it outside so that I
do it
can just
outside. Yep,
hose it. Or
that's
even
right.
like a actually might be able to be do it to do like a laundry basket. I think I see one buried under a box over there.
Mm.
I could just take stuff out of that and then it'll have holes and I can spray it down in the laundry thing and then
Mhm.
let it soak if needed. That's a good idea. I did not
You
think
could
of
get a
that.
tote that the laundry basket would fit inside of and make a
Oh,
little
and then it's like a
strainer.
strainer. Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah, I think
genius.
that my goal for you, or my hope for you, is that you can get a system set up so that when this happens inevitably again, there's
Yes.
no, this will help a lot and be like, well, I don't have to worry about it too much because I have a system that takes me this long.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That is, you just
Yeah.
blew my mind. The
And then you
strainer
can, I
idea.
know, right? And then because then you can like go up and down and back and forth and then not
Yes.
spray every single thing.
Yeah. And then just
Get
shaking it
gloves,
around.
get
And
like some
yeah,
good hardy, like long armed, like,
I
you know.
have some of those. Oh my gosh. You have blown my mind. Because it's like I just, we have this ramen bowl that my partner uses, and it's that. So I'm just gonna make a giant ramen bowl
Yeah.
essentially for poop clothes. Do you hear that? I have something to do against your poop. I have new thing in my arsenal. That don't get any ideas. That's not an invitation to poop more. Okay, so that's awesome, and that honestly takes like a weight off my back because it makes it more feasible. So thank you
Yeah.
for that,
Yep.
Michelle.
And then next week, if there's another thing you have to do, I mean, we definitely need to insert some hacks for all the things,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
we got to come up with some more hacks. I love that.
Starting with laundry is a good idea too, because you'll naturally probably neaten a little while you're
Hmm.
picking up everything that needs to be washed, and you'll have to go line by line, so it'll give you a better idea of what actually needs to be done and what's priority.
Right, and there's space in between loading each thing
Mhm.
that I can be prepping the next one or breathing or doing something else or
Yep.
whatever.
Reading.
So reading, I definitely am going to be reading because I do have books that are due, that
Mhm.
reviews that are due, which again, it's not life or death. I'm accepting the fact that I'm going to be a little overdue on them, and that's freeing. But I do like to try to be close to on time just for the sake of like, I took it on and I like to support these authors, especially some of them don't have any other reviews. I
Yeah.
I get the sweetest messages from these indie authors. Some of them make me cry.
Oh.
And they're like, "Oh my God, thank you for taking the time. Your review was so thorough. It means the world to me. Will you please be a part of my future launch?" And blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Shut up, stop it. I'm tearing up. Like this is ridiculous." And they're
Uh-huh.
just so sweet. And I really love it because these authors put so much more into their stories and they're not with big publishers. So like they've got an uphill battle going for them, but they're also writing from what's in their heart. And that's the best thing ever. That's what makes so many incredible stories. That's why every time I come up here with a story, if there's something I want to share, 9 times out of 10, it's an indie book that I found from this book sprout. So Yeah, I love it. And I'll probably continue bringing more indie books because I'm addicted at this point. But yeah, I've
Amazing.
got some that I want to finish so I can do those in between loads and then it won't feel like I'm taking away from anything. And we talked about that too, about carving time to do something so it doesn't so we don't feel guilty doing it. So this would be
Yep.
the perfect
Yep.
chance to do that.
Permission is one of the things that our belief system needs in order to not feel guilt or shame. So
Yes.
I give myself permission to schedule in breaks. I give myself permission to take this break now. So like actually
Hmm.
saying that to yourself
Yes.
reminds you that you're in charge of you, not whatever societal pressure to get things done at a certain amount of time is, right?
Yes. I love that so much. Thank you for that, Michelle.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Really good. Honestly, I've been fucking around in Notion because I am my week is gonna be like I guess quote unquote easy because I'm just gonna be focusing on um packing for camping and cooking and
Hmm.
I'm gonna do work on Monday and or Tuesday. But if I don't have it in me, then I won't. I worked this weekend, so I'm pretty tired.
Yes.
And I just want to support Laura while she's working the week and then get just fucking prepare. And that's it.
Beautiful.
So a part of my thing that I have to do is go through Notion, organize everything, go through my email. So since I'm doing Sunday service in Notion, I decided to do like kind of a combo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I added some tweaks during the brain dump to the our shared book page
Mm-hmm.
and I just added a few things like the links to where to buy them. I started a little format for that and I made a little icon for if because I don't some authors have to sell on Amazon, but once in a while there will be a format of a book, an indie book that is available on bookshop.org, which is something that I've talked about before, where you can select a local bookstore on there. And
Mm-hmm.
if you select that bookstore, then you can, and you find a book in the catalog on the website anywhere, then they can order that and the money will go, to the local bookstore instead of like Amazon. And of course, it will still pay the author because you're still buying a new book. So you'll be supporting the author and a local bookstore instead of Amazon. And they're not always on there, but I started indicating and linking to what books have formats that are on Bookshop. So now I've got a little template for that as well. And I'm just adding the books that I mention on Sunday service. And you can feel free to also use the template for that. Of course, you don't have to fill out everything, but my plan is to just like add and remove stuff for each individual one as it comes to it. But I just like having templates. You know me, templates are my comfort
Yeah.
space. So,
Yeah. I mean,
um,
they're really fucking important to be honest.
yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. And yeah, so if you come across anything that you want to throw on there, feel free, since I know you'll be in Notion, or if you just want to poke around in there and see what's going on,
Hmm.
feel free to do that. But yeah, I may or may not toss more stuff in there. I'm balls deep in reading lately in between everything. So,
Yeah. I think that's another thing I'm gonna do as part of my going through Notion is go through all that because I've been switching my little dashboard around also because I do
hmm
my Sunday service a little bit differently
hmm
in my own personal thing. So I think I will get in there because I use the Notion AI meeting notes thing for today, but
hmm
I'm not doing it for our whole Sunday service. I only do it until we start
yeah.
the thing. So everything in between that we talk about is not being recorded, but then I'm gonna take I think I put it in the facilitation thing actually. Yeah, you might be able to see it. It's a separate page. And then that's how I'm gonna get um like if you look at the debrief section,
hmm
there's a thing that says today. So I'm gonna go, it's a lot of things that we talked about. So I'm gonna put it into AI and have them like scrunch it down into a YouTube description. And if there's anything else, put it in the other debrief categories. Like we talked about book talk. So you said a bunch of stuff about books. So if you there's
Mm-hmm.
something, put it in that bullet, and then I'll take all of this plus what the meeting notes took, and then I'll make the description for the YouTube and add any links.
Okay, nice.
Okay, do you see
Do
what I'm
you,
talking about?
yeah, I am looking at, yeah. Do you want me to add, like, I have a lot of info for each book that I threw in there, except I didn't do like the description of the book. I just put like the links to get it and a link to my review and what the review is, for example, for like the book for today. Do you want me to put that whole bullet point in there, or do you want me
Where
to
did you put
just,
this originally? In the shared books thing?
yeah,
Let me
the
see.
Knots and Lattes is the most recent one. I didn't put extra bullets in this one
All right.
yet.
Okay, so maybe I'll make a thing.
At some point down the road, we'll obviously have something on the website with this, but that's down the road.
Yeah, but I mean like for us so that I can
Yeah.
I think that
Or you could just, I guess you could
no,
just
I'll
put a
just make
little
a
link.
system where I can because I can take this block and also make it visible in the Sunday service facilitation thing. So if
Hmm.
you update shared books, it also updates in the facilitation
Mm,
thing.
okay.
So I'll probably do something like that. And then I'll do my best on this week. I didn't do last week's either, so I'm going to do both of those hopefully today
Hmm.
or probably not today, but tomorrow. And then I'll do some sort of system where whatever you put in shared books, I can include that in the thing so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah, that
And
works
then
for
if there
me.
is anything outside of it in the Sunday service facilitation thing, under the
Hmm.
debrief, like I have a section for other takeaways and links and references. So if there's anything else in there after what we talked about in the beginning, then just add
Hmm.
it there.
Yeah, for
Cool.
sure. Awesome. I love this.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
ready to move on.
So our last 10 minutes of the meeting, we take to add things to our calendar. We want to check weather. We want to account for things like chores. Um, we want to do time blocks, so that can be creative time, non-committal time, admin time, meetings, appointments, whatever. And then think about things like weather, domestics, chores, meal prep, and meals, pet care, stretching, entertainment. I haven't been accounting for much nature time with everything else going on, but I think I need to do that this week if I can in between the stuffs.
Mhm.
Think that will help. And I will take 10 minutes to do that, and then we will come back and wrap up for the day and hopefully have a fresh start to the week.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, that was 10. I can't hear you.
Whoa, that was weird.
That was weird. What was it?
It just said mute off when I moved this back down, but I don't know how I muted in the first place.
Hmm.
Oh well.
Right. How
Yeah,
you looking?
I feel much better about this week. Having things laid out a bit more and having a couple plans. The poop thing alone is, I feel way better about that. That was stressing me out so much yesterday.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I've got like a new adventure coming my way. Like, all right, we're gonna try something new. Let's see how this works.
Hmm.
Gonna go out and play in the hose. Well, we're thinking of it like that. Not we're gonna be spraying for poop. We're gonna be playing with our hose, and it's fine.
Yay. What a
How are
lovely
you feeling?
weekend. Pretty good. I did something wrong. I was moving stuff around in Notion and deleted my entire top 20. So
Oh no, did you undo?
it wouldn't undo. You know how sometimes it doesn't?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's
Oh yeah,
awful.
I know. But whatever, I don't care. Anything on there that I don't remember is not priority. So
Hmm.
I'm trying not to.
Yeah, and you still went through the process of doing it, so that
Yeah, I went through
helps.
and not much changed from the week before. There was stuff that I added, but I pretty much have it in my mind what I'm doing. And I also
Yeah.
took off a lot of stuff that's not gonna happen for a while. So
Hmm.
I'm so annoyed by it, but I'm not gonna let it change anything, I think.
Good for you.
Yeah, I
That
can't.
that would be the
Not
perfect
redoing it.
opportunity to freak out, and I'm very happy that you are not doing that and that you're seeing the important bits.
Yeah, me too.
Well, hopefully this week will in fact be better. Me with like steady productivity without being pressured, and you with taking it easy and recovering as is needed,
Hmm.
and still doing the things that you want to get done. And then hopefully this time next week, we'll talk about still being on track because that's going to be your thing is not magically being through everything, but on track.
Beautiful. Okay, sounds good.
All
Thank you.
right. Thank you.
Good
And I
luck.
will see you. Thank you so much. I will see you next Sunday.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.
Oh my God, I don't know how to end this. So